Hello and welcome to the International Pentagon Challenge. My name is Kyanite and together we'll be embarking on a very special Football Manager journey where we'll aim to try and win every major international competition in all 5 continents, forcing our hand to play with hundreds of different types of players and most importantly hopefully create loads of awesome different types of tactics along the way. Once that's complete, only then are we allowed to set our sights on the biggest of all goals, the FIFA World Cup. How many nations will we have to manage until we work our way to the top? How many dodgy names will we have to pronounce along the way? So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun along the way. Alright everyone, hello and welcome to episode 76 of the International Pentagon Challenge. So one thing I've probably not really touched on is kind of the fact that I've got both Dos Santos lads in my backroom staff because it's cool like that. So basically I needed an assistant manager when I first took the Mexican job, and Jonathan Dos Santos was the standout candidate. Obviously some of you may remember him from when he played for Barcelona or Villarreal. I didn't know he played for LA Galaxy actually. He might not do, it might just be a transfer that was triggered in the game, I'm not sure. But yeah, as you can see he's not great, but he gets the job done. And then when I saw his brother Giovanni, I didn't realise he played for Ipswich either. Is that, no, that's in real life, okay. He must have gone there on loan from Spurs. But yeah, once I saw his brother kind of come in and want a job as well, I thought to myself, right, I've got to reunite the Dos Santos brothers here. But yeah, I just thought that'd be an interesting fact for y'all watching at home. And I hope the Americans can finally beat Guatemala because someone's got to put them in their place. We still need to play them. Hopefully that'll be us putting them in their place as well. So this is how the group currently stands. You may remember from the last episode, Canada have absolutely diddly squat to play for. So let's go and bottle it against them now. Okay, so interesting to see that, obviously because I've kind of become pretty used to this Canadian side because we kind of play them a lot, I'm surprised to see that they're missing a key player out on the left wing. I can't remember his name, but he certainly wasn't called Gonzalez. And hopefully the fact that he's called Gonzalez means he'll be doing us a favour on the pitch because he's probably half Mexican. Can we actually double check that? Watch him end up being Spanish now. Oh, he is half Mexican. So he's obviously not good enough to play for us for whatever reason, or he prefers to play for Canada. Either way, I'm going to make sure that shows up on our opposition instructions, and we make sure he has a difficult game. Trujillo has to play centre-back because Rendon is suspended, and obviously those of you that remember from the previous episode, Ruiz is injured. Fortunately, he's only out for 5 days, but it was long enough to allow us to call up another player. So Saldivar will start up front, and I've taken this opportunity to potentially give this lad his international debut. Plays for America in the Mexican League, and he's only 21 years old. Match sharpness not great, which is why he doesn't really start, but he looks like he's got a lot of potential. If he can maybe get himself a transfer to kind of a top European club where they can maybe nurture him for the next 2 or 3 years and give him game time, then if some of these 15s or 14s can become 15s and 16s, we'll have a pretty decent player on our hands here. I'm really excited about this guy. I'm disappointed my scouts didn't tell me about him earlier. Well, to be fully honest, they didn't even tell me about him. I went and searched for him myself because some of the other striking options we've tried in the past as a replacement for Ruiz haven't exactly gone well. So yeah, it was about time we give someone else a chance. We are playing the Canadians, so we're going to make similar changes as to what we did against the Americans, and obviously the key opposition instruction for the day, which is going to be to show Gonzalez what us real Mexicans are truly made of. Trying to see if I can spot the player that's missing. For some reason I can't. This is another interesting one. They have a centre mid, thought he was a centre back, called Ibrahimovic. Like the first time I played against Canada and I saw Ibrahimovic on the pitch, I was like, Ibrahimovic? But yeah, obviously it's a different Ibrahimovic. But 3 points would be great for us. I think it would guarantee qualification. I think just a single point would guarantee qualification for us at the current moment in time. Let's hope we can do it. Here we go then. So, Mexico versus Canada. The Canadians, bottom of the group, going absolutely nowhere near the World Cup. But I've just actually remembered that I forgot to make a tweak. So the Canadians do actually play quite direct, and we saw an example of it there, hence why I remembered. So I usually drop my defensive line as well when playing against them. It's something I do a lot against North American teams that... Oh, great clearance, Chavez. But yeah, it's something I do a lot against the North American teams when they tend to play with two up front, because they end up with some pacey customers, they do. I think we've played Canada 2 or 3 times prior to this game, and they always tend to score an early goal against us, and we always end up having to try and pull the comeback off. So I'm really hoping that doesn't end up being the case here. Oh, unlucky Colin. Could have been a great goal, it certainly could have been. I also hate the Canadians goalkeeper. Like, he is really good. I mean really, really good. He's called Lord or something like that. And it just feels like when he plays against me and he's really good in goal, and then it just shows his name as Lord, as in like the Lord. It's just like rubbing salt in the wounds kind of thing. Costa Rica are 1-0 up against Panama. Guatemala are 1-0 up against the United States. How are Guatemala doing this? Unbelievable. Like, I've still not seen why Guatemala are playing so well. Yes, they beat us 3-0, or whatever ridiculous scoreline it was. But, yeah, they shouldn't have beat us. Like, the performance wasn't even that good, so, yeah, it is what it is. Arellano to Rincon. Iturbe shoots, and it goes wide of the target. 10 minutes in, and the game is all green. We've got over 70% of possession, despite not even trying to keep hold of possession. We do have to be careful, given that they are playing with 2 up front. If, you know, we haven't found the back of the net by 30 minutes, we will probably set one of our fullbacks to attack more. I mean, we could really take a draw from here and guarantee qualification, but I want to try and win as many games as possible and try and build up as much momentum as possible for the lads. But what tends to happen when you end up putting a fullback on attack, for example, if our right back was on attack, he'd kind of make earlier runs into this area, and it kind of provides us with an extra passing option, and potentially that could turn into a crossing opportunity. And Roger Iturbe finally hits the back of the net. He's had a bit of a quiet period, shall we say, for the Mexicans recently, ever since he scored 4 goals, which may have been against Canada, I can't quite remember. But what's important is that we have found the back of the net, 15 minutes in, and what on earth was that, Gomez? Come on, Gomez. That's not good enough, that. Probably need a bit of a concentrate shout, because knowing my lads, they'll find a way to mess it up. So, tell the lads to concentrate, and hopefully, if we keep playing the same way, we'll be fine. So, Colin is tackled by Mello. Kaufman plays the ball through to Air. This is a good example as to why I wanted to drop our defensive line a little bit. Kaufman back to Ed. Good clearance just about from Arellano. And can we now switch defence into attack? We slow it down a little bit because we don't really have any passing options going forwards. But Rincon and Zamurdo in midfield rally the troops. Colin now, the playmaker, finds Iturbe. Passes it back central to Zamudio, who shoots, and Lord holds on to the ball. So real nice football from the Greens again. I don't know why I call them the Greens. I mean, we're wearing greens, but I think our nickname is like El Tri, which means the 3 colours or something like that. I'm not really quite sure why that's our nickname, to be honest. Could it be because the Mexican flag is like green? Wait, no, it's green, white, and red, isn't it? It doesn't have black on it. I don't even know. It's terrible how I manage the team. I don't even know what their flag looks like. But there we go. 2-0. Assist by Roger Iturbe. The commentator's bloody enjoying it with that scream of a goal. And yeah, it now means that we can drop down to key highlights. So now that we have a 2-0 lead, all looking good, we can now just do that to reduce our passing directness a little bit and let the lads carry on doing what they do best. Guatemala are beating the United States 2-0. But then again, you know, Trinidad and Tobago won the Gold Cup, so what do I know? Guatemala, seriously, are on the verge of qualifying for the World Cup. It could very well be their first ever World Cup. Credit where it's due to them, but it's certainly a joy to behold when you're Mexico like us. I mean, I don't really mind because I feel like if we get Guatemala and we get drawn, I don't think we can get drawn in the same group as them, actually. I'm not sure how it works, but if we do end up, having to play them, I'd rather Guatemala than England, you know what I mean? So, even though then again, we beat England. But there we go, United States could not qualify for the World Cup. So, everyone's looking complacent. Let's tell the lads to stay focused, and we can consider a substitution. The question is who? At times like this, I like bringing on the youngsters, to be honest. So I think Christian Escobar deserves some playtime. He can come on for a rincon. Do I actually have any Mexicans watching? If I do, that's pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out how to say hi in Spanish. I think it's hola. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they speak Spanish in Mexico. Good finish. There we go, 3-0. Saldivar. Goal! He doubles his tally. I love it when the commentator goes mad. I actually had it once in one of the games qualifying up to this game where we scored a goal. It could have been actually a Roger Iturbe fourth goal where the commentator just went golazo, 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 and it was just like, this is what happens when you have a biased Spanish commentator commentating the game. Okay, let's make some changes. Now let's bring on Arenas for, while Collins had a good game. See, there's a problem with Colin. He gets knackered early, but he's always having a good game. Okay, that can happen. And I think we can bring on Pablo Delagaldo as well, Delaglido, however you pronounce that there, to give us some fresh legs in the middle of the park. And as the clock ticks down, the Mexicans can taste the next World Cup. The United States have equalised 2-2 against Guatemala. Jesus Christ. Costa Rica are 2-0 up against Panama. It's all kicking off. I'm not really quite sure where that leaves things in terms of the table. I think that means Guatemala are still in that 4th place now. But, this is really going to go down to the wire. We basically qualified now that we've got this win, which probably means the next episode will be once we kind of know who we're playing in the World Cup. And then after that, if we manage to keep hold of our job, because if we can't get out of the group stages, and this is just a maybe, it depends what the board's expectation really is, but if we can't get out of the group stages, there's a chance we could get sacked as a Mexican manager. But if we do remain as a Mexican manager, then obviously priority from that point onwards is going to be to win the next Gold Cup. What worries me, and it is something I mentioned when I first took the Mexican job, is the amount of aging players we have. So our average age is about 28. And I was really looking forward to this United States 3, Guatemala 2. I was really looking forward to this Gold Cup because I felt like we had a decent team on our hand. What a save. See what I mean about Lord? Decent team on our hand that we could maybe swiftly, quickly win the Gold Cup with and then go straight onto another continent. And then obviously we weren't allowed to play because we were at the Confederations Cup. So it's going to be interesting to see what this Mexico team looks like for the next Gold Cup. Obviously, players I'm really looking forward to having under my belt, players like Colin and Arenas, but I'm not really quite sure what we're going to do in terms of strikers. It probably will end up in a change of system by that time, because a lot of our defenders are quite old as well. Our 2 main left-backs are 31, and people that are well into Football Manager know there's an issue this year where regens don't tend to, like good fullback regens don't tend to be a common thing for some strange reason, and we're in 2033, and to be fully honest, I have started feeling that with some of the youth intakes that have been coming forwards to some of the countries. So Cabrera made it 2-0. It was a lad that scored against us, and then Guatemala just threw it all away. So there we go then. We are top of the group on 18 points. The only loss we've had is against Guatemala. United States in 2nd, Costa Rica in 3rd, and we just pile the misery on to the Canadians. So good stuff, boys. You did what was needed of you tonight, and I think on that note, or as Jeremy Clarkson would say, and on that bombshell, it's time to say goodbye. So, what? We've not qualified yet. There's a playoff place. Oh, for God's sake. Are you kidding me? We have to now play playoff games to decide who qualifies for the World Cup. How does this work? Right, rules. Winners. There's a 4th round. Oh, we've not qualified for the World Cup yet. Oh, I thought that would be World Cup qualification in the bag, but apparently not. I mean, I did think it was a bit of a strange format where, like, you can finish top 3 and still qualify. So, I think only 2 will end up qualifying. I'm really not sure how it's going to work, guys. Like, what if we go into a qualifier? What on earth did 4th place go into? Or have we still not 100% qualified? It just means that we've all qualified for at least that 4th place position. You know what? I don't really know. I should really read up on how these things work before recording these episodes. But that's one of the cool things about this International Pentagon Challenge. So there we go. 5 goals in 2 games against the Yanks and the Canadians. We got a game away at Panama that should be an easy win. And then hopefully we can get revenge against Guatemala. I won't record them. Next episode will probably be after we know what on earth we're doing with our lives post the 5th round qualifiers. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I just realised that I forgot to sub on the young lad. We forgot to sub him on. So I'll show him to you guys. This was obviously Miguel Angel Ramirez, plays for America. I wanted to sub him on and see how he would do, but I completely forgot. Oh well, see you next time. Thanks for watching.